funkiest sound.
Oh.
A shadowy government with its own Air Force, its own Navy, its own fundraising mechanism, and the ability to pursue its own ideas of the national interest, free from all checks and balances, and free from the law itself.
Hi there, my name's Major General Rudy Schwarzkopf. I'm the official spokesman for the United States Industrial Military Complex, for the United States Military Forces. Now, I've been asked to talk to you good people by our people who run your country, by your officially elected federal representatives there in the federal government, to explain to you good Austrians why most of the contrails from the aircraft above your heads are now pumping out 50-mile-long vapor trails that blot out the sun after a few hours, instead of dissipating after 30 seconds like they used to do before 1999. Now, let me assure you, good Austrians, we know and love you well, so we would never conduct covert aerial operations or experiments on you without telling somebody in your government. We have told the same people in your government that we instructed about weapons of mass destruction, Mandy Habib, and the CIA attacks on 9/11. The Al-Qaeda attacks on 9/11. What we are doing, which is nothing. Now, this concern for the loss of the blue sky above your heads, and the increase in lung disease, and the toxic accumulation of heavy metals and biological and radioactive compounds in your blood supply cannot be pinned on us in the United States Air Force. As we make sure that we fly early in the morning and late at night at 40,000 feet above your heads. That's what we would do if we was doing it, which we ain't doing. These so-called chemtrails that some left-wing pinkos are calling them, and some right-wing conservatives, as well as some research scientists that can no longer get federal funding for their research, and some concerned citizens as well. Anyway, these chemtrails are just ordinary exhaust fumes from a few high-altitude jets that have got their mix wrong in their carburetors, which then makes the mufflers burn a bit dirty, and we'll be working on those troublesome engines soon. It should only take about 5 years, which by that time there'll be less people anyway to complain about this fictitious situation, which is being called the Darwin theory operation, which just means good old survival of the fittest. That is, of course, unless you have built an underground bunker fitted with a HEPA filter, like the bunkers we've built for our top military and political men and women. But then, of course, you don't have to be fit or smart, just well connected. Whatever you do, just stay calm, or the increased adrenaline in your blood supply will affect our research results. Make you upset. Have a bad effect on your health. Let me assure you, you will not see any stories in the mainstream media to back up these claims that we are spreading submicron-sized particles of aluminium oxide, barium, and a variety of biological compounds in your air supply. So it can't be happening, because if it ain't on your mainstream media, it don't exist. Because you can absolutely trust the commercial networks to tell you everything that's going on, despite the fact that most of them are owned by the major weapons corporations. And your public broadcasters like the ABC are never afraid to tell it like it is, because their funding is not affected by our people who run your country. Your official federal representatives. So, good Austrians, sleep well tonight, knowing that we have a constant military presence over your house. Your Air Force has a constant military presence over your house. But don't leave the windows open, and you might want to stay indoors on a hot, dry day, or a wet, windy one, or a wet, cold one. Stay indoors, especially when it rains. In fact, don't go outside. Don't do nothing. Stay indoors and breathe shallow. This has been Major General Rudy Schwarzkopf signing off on behalf of the United States Military-Industrial Complex. On behalf of the United States Military Forces. Bye now. Goddamn, I hate doing this stuff. Oh, well, won't need to in another 5 years. There won't be no one around over there in good old Austria. Huh? Still on? Oh, hi! Bye now. You can cut that out, can't you?
In the early part of 1999, a website under the name of www.carnicom.com was created to call attention to the unusual events and effects surrounding aircraft activity over the southwestern desert skies of the United States. The developer of that site was a generally quiet and conservative former federal employee with no political or environmental notoriety. Within a matter of days, it was apparent that this site was immediately drawing attention from a broad host of high-level government and military agencies, defense contractors, research organizations, chemical and pharmaceutical companies, and health organizations. This interest was documented on this same site for a period of several months, by which time an obvious pattern of monitoring the developing research was apparent. Over the next few years, a glaring disparity had evolved. On one hand, a high level of monitoring of documentation, sampling methods, research, analysis, and disclosure efforts was now documented. On the other, a campaign of continuous dismissal of the significance of the issue and a refusal to investigate was conducted by those very same visitors. You are now seeing a small sample of these frequent visitors and monitoring agencies and companies, such as the Pentagon, multiple Air Force bases, the United States Senate, aircraft manufacturers, pharmaceutical and drug companies, national security, intelligence and emergency agencies, weapon and defense system contractors, research organizations, and the media.